Welcome to turning a moment into a movement. Greetings, everyone. Thank you, thank you for joining us on Turning a Moment into a Movement. I'm getting some feedback from somewhere, but I am your host, J Love, and thank you for joining us this evening. Um, this represents also the Justice for All movement that inspired this whole platform. Under my son, who was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't do. He innocent and he went to prison for that crime. And so we come here on Fridays with myself, Reverend Tia, Trisha Duckworth, and others to, educate the community about wrongful convictions. Our mission here is to bring awareness to all that are impacted from being wrongly convicted, overly sentenced, mentally ill, and medically frail in our community. To inspire, organize, and educate all communities about the needs to disrupt systems, policies, and patterns of the criminal legal system that leads to wrongful convictions. So that's why we come here every Friday. You guys introduce yourselves.
All right. Jay, it's wonderful to be here tonight. Hello, everybody. Just wanted to say that this is the Narrative Transformer coming to you from the Choice Zone and united with Jay Love and turning a moment into a movement. So if you're ready to change that narrative, you can always reach me at thechoicezone.com. And I'm so excited to lead with my sisters in many capacities as we continue. Yes, we continue to stand for peace and justice in all areas of our life.
Good evening, I guess it is. I am so excited to be here with you all. Not necessarily excited to talk about what we're talking about because it can be a heavy topic, but at the end of the day, we must find joy in all things, and all things give thanks so that we can manifest freedom on behalf of those who are wrongfully incarcerated. My name is Trisha Duckworth. I'm the executive director of Survivor Speak, the lead consultant of Value Black Lives, and I'm just happy to be here this evening with my sisters. Love you both.
Thank you, guys. Well, you know what? We can't talk about wrongful convictions and not and talk with one of our guests who's here tonight. He's so inspiring, all the work that he's been doing. And I'm so glad that out of his busy schedule that he could be with us here tonight. So you guys, welcome Reverend Ed Pinkney. Hey, Reverend Pinkney.
Hey, everybody. How we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, it's going down. That's what I'm telling you. And we're not taking no prisoners. That's the thing, because we can't afford to feed them. That's why we're not taking no prisoners, And we're gonna do what we can to free individuals that's incarcerated. We're gonna do everything we can to stand for them and make sure that we're on top of our game. Is crucial. So it's an honor to be here to be with you ladies. And I tell you all, this is just the beginning.
Yes, Reverend Pinkney. Reverend Pinkney, for those who I don't know how they don't know you, but there might be somebody that don't know you, Reverend Pinkney. Tell them what you do out there in Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Well, one of the things that we do here is that we court watch. And when I say court watch, we've been court watching for 20 years. And we have been successful at that. See, we started picking in the courthouse. That's what we did in 2000. We started picketing 7 days a week. We picket the courthouse for about 5 years. But in between that time, we also court watched during that period of time too. So what we did, we expanded our work to even go further. And on the way, we learned a lot. And we had a lot of people who's willing to learn about the courthouse. Matter of fact, here's something that we have done. Our normal procedures to talk to the defendant as soon as possible. That's one thing we did. And if they listen, we can get them off. A lot of times the court appointed attorneys, they ain't gonna do nothing. They're not gonna bust a grape. They want you to plead guilty so they can get that check on Friday. That's the only thing they want to do. They want to make sure that you plead guilty. They don't care whether you're innocent or guilty. It don't make no difference to them. All they care about is that Friday, when they go to that office, their check be waiting on them. And most of the time it do. So we challenged that. We challenged the court appointed attorneys. What we did, we sued the court appointed attorneys in Barron County, which is Benton Harbor's there, Muskegon, and Flint. And we were successful on all levels. When we got to the Supreme Court, they took us to the Supreme Court. And when they took us to the Supreme Court said, well, we know that you guys are right. This is what he said. But we can't really give y'all no money. But we wasn't going for the money. We was going to improve the court appointed system. And we did that by them giving them more money. But now it's back to what it used to be. Whatever it was before is now that right now. So that was one of the things that we did that was so amazing and got people on board for that. We challenged the court appointed system and we won. And they didn't like that. Also, the if you want to say the juvenile lifers, see, that was something that we partnership with the I can't think of, we partnership with them, and we also won that battle. When Stevens went to the Supreme Court, we was there. Well, at least I was there. Let's say that, and we won that for the juvenile lifers. We got a chance to do some stuff with them, and they always think about the work because nobody is willing to challenge this system. See, it's the problem is the system. You see, they can fire the chief prosecutor tomorrow and put somebody else in his place, and it'll work the same. You see, everything works the same, but it's the system. What we got to fight is the system, which is real difficult because you got to have the resources and the people that's willing to come. They're going to come after you. See, that's one of the things I believe. I try to beat them by their own laws. That's how I try to do. And I've been successful, and I won't get into all that right now, but we'll get into some because I know that you don't want me to sit here and talk for an hour, which I can, but let's somebody else might want to talk. And if you want me to talk, just wheel me on in.
All right. Reverend Pinkney, I see Alexandria popped in on us. Hi, Alexandria.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Introduce yourself right quick, Alexandria.
I'm still taking it. Oh, yes. Alexandria, researcher, community activist. And yeah, I'm just taking everything in.
Okay. Yes. So, Reverend Pinkney, saying that this is wrongful conviction month, we had wrongful conviction day a couple of days ago. What was that, Wednesday? How do you feel? What is the state of wrongful convictions? Do you think these integrity units are working? What is your feeling about this whole system of integrity that they're putting before us now?
Well, let me say this. It's working the way they want it to work. You see, not the way it should work. You see, and that's what the system itself. They'll let a few out, but I was in prison, and let me say this: I would say a majority of the people there, they were telling me stories that I just couldn't believe. I could not believe that what they was telling me, especially in Detroit, how the detective unit would, if you was out here selling drugs and you didn't give up your drug dealer, they'll give you a body. And they'll tell you they're going to give you the body. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because it's all about the system. This guy is in prison for the rest of his life. and he swore that he did not kill anybody. And they gave him 2 bodies. And the first thing he said, well, I went to work when I got out to help get him out. Matter of fact, it's being processed right now. Here's something else that we did. The people that's serving life without the possibility of parole, we went in to try to help them. And we've been successful on 27. It's commutation of their sentence. And it costs money. It's not free. It's not cheap. You see, because one of the things that you have to do when you're dealing with this, you got to get them a psych. If you don't get them a psych, they're not going to get a commutation most of the time. They had a total of 27 people, had a total of over 1,200 years in prison. Wow. And we worked on that, and it's really strenuous because we don't know what they gonna do. We have no control over what they do. Only thing we can do what we do. You see, and that psych alone cost $5,000. And most people out in the streets, family members, in most cases, not going to put up money like that. You know, we was able to raise some money. Every dime that we raised for those occasional, we made sure that we had it. We had a couple of lawyers that helped us. They're not with us anymore, but they did what they could. You see, but my point, here's my thing. When we talk about the system trying to help people inside the prison, their job is to help 1 or 2, so it looked like they're doing the right thing. That's what it adds up to. It looks like they do. If they went inside that prison and started evaluating the situation, that prison would be half empty, and they know that. But then again, you have to think about the community. The community, they're not going to step up and help nobody unless it's their family. They're not going to. And here's the bad part about that. They would not. We asked them we would ask family to help, go get signatures, do this and do that. They never do. Very few of the family actually go out and do that. They don't. I take it as black, but I don't let that stop me. I can't let what you do stop me from doing. I can't sleep at night knowing people are in prison that should not be in prison.
Right.
And that's how I feel.
You said something very key, Reverend Pinkney. A lot of people do not get involved unless it's someone they personally know or their family member. It's so hard to, when you out here advocating and you're telling people what's going on and we're going to rally or we're going to get together. And it's almost always the same people until something happens to somebody they know, or their loved one, and that's when they show up. And I think what's a big problem is we're so reactive when we can do stuff and have a better outcome if we were more proactive. So how do we get? I don't even know if this is even a question. How do we get there? How do we get people more involved? I mean, even with voting, even with elections, anything. Once you're trying to get people involved, and it's just hard to get them motivated.
It is.
Because most of the time, people don't see where this could help them until it's their family. One of the things that I used to do to get people to get out and march with me and picket the courthouse, I'll wait for them to come outside the courthouse. And then what I would do then is go have them, even if they didn't have a car, we would go pick them up. We had people that they knew we was coming at 8 o'clock to pick them up, would go out the back door. And we trick them. We'll send somebody to the back door and wait for them because we know that way we know they home, But this is how we think. We don't think nothing is important till it affects us directly. We don't know that the kid next door in trouble need help one of the things I used to do, and I don't do it as much as I used to, people would call and want my help. They don't even like me, but they still wanted my help when they got in trouble. And they knew that I would, because that was my mission, to still help them. You see, and what I would do, they know I'm gonna talk about them. They know, because so many people that we have helped, and literally once their case was over, they you be lucky if they speak to you. So you can't be in it for that reason. You got to be in it the way God. There's no way that we could accomplish all the stuff that we have accomplished without God being right in the middle of it. We couldn't do nothing. We couldn't get the resources. You think these white folks gonna give us money to get people out of prison? These folks ain't giving us a dime. We have to make sure that we're doing things to get these guys who need to be out of prison. These guys served 50 years in prison, and they didn't want to let him go. Talking about he's mentally ill now because he's been there. We have to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do, you see, and let the chips fall where it may. None of us is perfect, you see. We all make mistakes, but let's build upon that. What we need to do is go out here, and then let me say this real quick.
Go ahead,
there's a guy, there's a guy right down the street from me. He was a juvenile lifer. We got him out. Matter of fact, he can walk to my house in 5 minutes. We got him out, and he have not one time called me or said hi or walked to my house and said thank you. And we put up the revenue. But can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. But I didn't see the thing. Well, I didn't take it personal. You see, we just move on. And the sad part about that, he was calling me since 2002, and I would take time out and accept his calls and talk with him. He got out in 2017, and he have not called me not one time, and I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because it's obvious he still got that prison mentality.
Right.
You see, and we introduced him to a psych, and the psych worked with him, and that will help got him released. But like I tell everybody, I tell my wife and everybody else, we just have to do what we have to do. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let y'all talk. Go ahead.
You speaking facts though. I honestly think like it takes all of us. And two, meeting people where they're at. So many people are consumed with work, bills, kids, and I can't blame them for being consumed with that because of inflation. What groceries cost $1 billion, I feel like, and just like I get why people are consumed, but that doesn't make it right. No. And to stop yourself from being so consumed, you have to participate in things like this. So
absolutely.
I think if people saw like the value of, if they look at their money, and they look at sometimes it's if it impacts your community, that's the trigger to get people moving. But money also a big factor to get people moving. Our tax dollars go towards a lot of these systems. Like if you look at like wrongful convictions, like I saw something, the National Institute of Justice said something about there being like over 3,000 cases of wrongful conviction cases last year. And then when you look at who's impacted, who's likely to be impacted, Black people. And then we have the death penalty is still part of the legal system. So that's enough for me to want to change it. The death penalty, it like people dying that don't deserve, like why is that even being determined by our legal system? Why are you even having the ability to play God? But yeah, I think the money factor, I think will motivate people if they understand it. Like, cause our money goes to these county jails.
Yeah.
Our money goes on a federal level to whatever the government wants. We don't get a say.
No.
I mean, and so that's motivation.
Don't get
and our money paid for when people are exonerated and they win lawsuits. That's our tax money. The city is not paying for that. The state is not paying that. We're paying that. And so if we can just express that look, we're happy that somebody got paid $20 million, right?
Right.
But we're financing that $20 million that of that misconduct or whatever it was that made this person be wrongfully convicted. You know what I'm saying? And that's 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollars that could be for us or could be in a fund for something, you know. But if we're not holding people accountable, if we're not taking these folks off the streets or out of office, then we keep paying.
Yeah.
So it is affecting all of us, even though personally it's not affecting your family. It is because you're paying.
Like we pay for all the legal system's mistakes.
That's right.
All of their mistakes. They don't have malpractice insurance like doctors. You know, it comes out of our pocket. That's not right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we pay for the legal system, period. You know, we pay them to send us to prison. We say them to lie and cheat and find ways to convict people. And like I said, when I was in prison, this guy told me that I couldn't believe his story. You know, I wasn't mentally prepared to hear what he said when he said they gave him 2 bodies and had a witness to say that he actually killed these 2 people. And he said I was nowhere around. He said I just couldn't think of an alibi for where I was for 5 years ago. I said, wow. So we worked to get him out. We got him out. But unfortunately, he has served many, many, many years. But we have to figure out a way how we can work together. See, one of the hardest things in the world is find people that's willing to work with you to get things done. And Black people would see, one thing, if they can't be the leader, a lot of them won't work with you. That's why I'll always step back. I let them take the lead, because when the system come after you, they're gonna come after the leader. See, they don't know what they be saying. You know, they want to be the leader. They don't have no clue what they saying. You see, because I experienced this. You know, I know what they'll do. To me, it is no such thing as sitting here telling people you have to watch out. They'll do anything. We had a guy here named Collins. He planted drugs on 300 people. He was a police officer of the year. I mean, they came from everywhere to Benton Harbor to give this guy an award. And he was, we know it. We marched 10 guys into the courtroom so he could see them. They wouldn't let them testify. We told his attorney, he had a court-appointed attorney. That's when we went to work. And he said the judge won't let them testify that Collins had planted drugs on them. So I said, well, you can get the judge, because it was early enough. We told you about this early enough for you to put these people on the list to testify. He didn't do it because he was working with them. And all of them were working together. Collins, the judge, the prosecutor, the sheriff department, Benton Harbor Police Department, all of them were working together against the people. And the only reason this guy got busted, he beat up another white guy in St. Joseph, Michigan. He beat him bad. and they went to his locker and drugs was falling. I mean, they couldn't even close his locker back up. He had so much drugs in there, and that's what he used to plan on people. But I say this, we let them get away because they would not stand behind me to say that Reverend Pinkney, let's do something about this one guy. It's not gonna happen with black folks. They would, to me, we got 9 black elected officials. We got 2 good ones, and we got 7 want to be like them. And they were so happy that this guy was in there planting drugs on people and was going to be the officer of the year for the whole state of Michigan.
Yes.
He was he's a low-life slime ball now. He was a low-life slime ball then. And we sit around here thinking that was something. Black folks, I'm going to tell you like it is. Some black folks make me sick. They make me sick in the stomach, and we sit around trying to pray. See, I gave him the name, the Sambo. We have the Sambo of the Year award here. It started in Detroit, the Sambo, and then what we did, we went out and gave them. We have people to call in and vote for them and stuff like that. Then we have the Sambo Super Bowl in February when they have the Super Bowl. And like they have the Super Bowl, and the possibility they might have the Super Bowl in Detroit this year, but they're gonna have the Sambo Super Bowl and get people to vote, and we teach them that we're not gonna take that mess. You might take it, but I'm
not. Reverend Pinkney.
Yeah.
I remember sending you a message about him because I heard him on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking like, he wanted to be this great police officer. And that's his intention. That was his intention. And so all of a sudden, he was taking drugs. He claims, this is what he claims, that when he went presenting people to the prosecutor or whatever, and people will get out of the case was because the way he wrote up the reports or whatever. And so him, his partner, whoever else,
well, let me say something about his partner. His partner is my wife's cousin.
Oh, wow.
Okay, go ahead. I just want to throw that in there. But like I said, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
He started talking about how they started wording it, Reverend Pinkney, so these people could go to prison. They knew how to start writing it, and they created this whole culture. And you're right, he became like, he was saying how, Benton Harbor was this small little town, but they was doing so much. People was coming to see what he was doing. He was putting so many black folks in prison.
Yeah.
But then when he finally got caught, like you said, when the drugs fell out of his locker and out his office, wherever they was at, and he got caught with all these drugs, the young man that he's going around with, that he falsely convicted.
Yeah, go ahead.
He got 10 years based off of his lies, and this guy only got 18 months.
Right.
And he had more drugs than a guy that he lied on.
Absolutely. And that's some of the people's fault. That ain't just his fault. The people didn't stand up. They knew this guy was planting drugs on people. They knew he was. Let me tell you this. The judge was involved. The prosecutor was involved. The sheriff himself was involved. You had the state police involved. And you had him and the FBI. Now listen, the FBI, after they busted him with all the drugs in the locker, this guy DeBrito, his name is DeBrito, he told him that if you tell on anybody, you're gonna be spending the rest of your life. And it's in I had his transcript where he admitted that DeBrito came to him and told him this. You see, but they didn't do nothing to DeBrito because he was, FBI and stuff like that. All this was together, and the thing was, black people let him off the hook. Mm-hmm. That's what got me. I'm telling you, over 300 people he got. Over 300 people, all were sent to prison. What I did do, I got them a lawyer, and we sued them. They got $75,000 each, probably about 50 of them, But my point was, some of this stuff is us. Mm-hmm. We just don't get it. We just don't understand that there's a problem. Even today, there's a major problem. Mm-hmm. We have to protect our children at all times, and that's what we're not doing. We're not protecting our children from these people who trying to make them something that they're not. Mm-hmm. But women, this is what I give women credit for. Women will stand up for their children. They will fight for their children. A man will say, "Well, let him be a man, because he don't want to get involved, because he don't want to be behind them bars." Not all, but some. And that's one of the major problems that we face today. That's why we're failing right now. We're failing. We're just one step from being slaves again. And we don't even know it. We don't even know what's here. Racism is out of this world right now. You go in the courtroom now, they're subject to call you a nigger. But the reason that we so separated. Then we got black folks who want to be just like white folks. How could you want to be like somebody who would go to church at 11 o'clock, get out at 1 o'clock, and go hang a black man? Go hang his wife. And if she's pregnant, cut that baby out and stomp the baby till it's dead. And you want to be like them? He will rape the women. He would have the husband take the woman to the big house and rape her and summon him to come get her and bring his next daughter. He'll rape them. And this is what you want to be like? This gives me the incentive to say, hey, I'm coming after you. I don't have the resources. But if I can get enough people power to stand up and fight, I'll do it. We have to change the way we do business. Mm-hmm. It's your son today and my son tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That's how they do it. And when we don't get this thing together, we hitting for nothing but trouble. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to take a bullet from that. That's what I did. I knew I did nothing wrong. But I knew that people would get behind me all across the country. When I got ready to go to court to be sentenced, more than 2,500 letters came into that courtroom. And the judge was shocked. When I got to prison, over 25,000 people wrote me letters. I couldn't even read them all. People from St. Joe, one of the most racist areas in the nation here. Also one of the wealthiest, but also, look like to me, the more wealth, the more racism. That's how I look at it. But what I did, I like I told them, they got something for me, bring it on. And that's what they don't like. They want me to be hollering, crying all in court. Oh, they doing this to me. No, bring it on. You got something for me, bring it on. And I'm gonna fight. And that's what we got to get into. We got to get into saying that we're gonna fight these evil, wicked people until the end. And we're not gonna let them get away with it. Because that's what they get away with everything. Because we're so divided up. Until something happened to you, you don't want to do nothing. You're gonna sit at home, watch your stories, and just keep on moving. And your son got a rope around his neck, getting ready to get home. Yeah. Look, I done talked enough. Y'all go ahead.
It's like people want
You
a
know what?
Band-Aid, or they just, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, look, Reverend Pinkney, I know that you know the story. We know the story, but I want all of our viewers to understand, and I know you can't do it in one show, but like what you went through, wrongfully convicted, the fight that your wife had to do, and everything, because people don't understand that and it was, I'm gonna let you tell it, but
Well,
it's so important because
here's
they were coming after you because and because it was politically motivated, and people need to understand that. So can you just give our viewers the a bit of the story so they can understand what's behind the passion, what you had to go through?
Absolutely. See, one of the things that I did a recall on one of the elected officials. He was a big honcho. They figured that he'd never be able to recall him. We got all the resources, and I was successful at recalling him. Now, the judge, the prosecutor, everybody is mad. Is that nobody should have been able to recall the Yarborough family. Nobody, because they're the biggest family. They had all the resources. They had money coming from Whirlpool and everything. But we beat them. We beat them bad. And they said, well, either Pinkney is a genius or he'll crook. There's no in between. If you're black, you got to be, most likely they want to accuse you of crook. So what happened when we went to trial, and the first trial in a hung jury. The second trial, they convicted me, being in possession of an absentee ballot, which they knew it wasn't true. But if you can get a black person to come in and say this, it's black on black. It's not a white person that actually do it. It's a black person, you see. So we as the court system, we did nothing wrong. It was your black brother and sister that said that you was in possession of a absentee ballot. It's okay. So they gave me probation. Later on that month, well, let's say in October, I wrote an article in the People's Tribune, and I simply quoted Deuteronomy, starting with the 28th verse down to the 15th verse, all the way down to about the 40th verse, something like that. Anyway, they got together as a team, the judges, the prosecutors, all of them, and decided that Pinkney has threatened the judge's life with a quote from the Bible. And it was the stupidest thing in the world, but they had target. Now they figure like this, they got to do something. They couldn't send me to prison for the absentee ballot, but now they can send me to prison for threatening the judge. So goes in there, I bring in we high power Buck Davis and them, the whole team. I had a team of lawyers. Okay. Judge ruled that I threatened the judge's life and he's going to send me to prison for 3 to 10 years. So I goes to prison. When I get to prison, everybody waiting on me because they knew I was coming. That was the good part. Everybody knew I was coming. Everybody wanted to take care of you down there, And I'm not going to go into the buck naked fish story, but I'm going to, due to time, I'm going to say they had held me up in prison. They had me on TV every night. Pinkney, they was trying to do something. I was way up there in the mountains somewhere where Ojibwe. They had me way up there. And we had put in the judge we had put in for appeal. And the judge ruled on the appeal. I had been there almost a year. And they gave me appeal bond. They very seldom give anybody appeal bond. They gave me appeal bond. And it was all over. It was like some big time stuff, So I goes home. And then here's what happened. They ruled that there was no violation of any kind when I wrote the scripture. So the court ruled in my favor. but it's so many angles. And next time I come, I'll tell you the whole story of how when I got there, how we got to the point where when I brought all the people inside the prison together. You see, which what makes this story so good. I had no knowledge of what really was going on inside the prison. I had no knowledge. I didn't know nothing. But later that day, one of the moles, he came up to me and asked me to help them. I didn't know what what to do. I didn't know. I didn't know the issues. So he told me that they, certain things that was happening, the guards and all this kind of stuff. So much was happening, and the food was bad. So I said, well, let me sleep on it, and I'll come up with something tomorrow. So I slept on it for a moment, and I came up with this idea that we're gonna attack the food chain. One of the things in prison, if you're gonna do something, you always deal with the food system. If you're gonna but that's a bad number though. If they catch your butt, you could be in there for the rest of your life. Because they come, you're inciting a riot and all this kind of stuff they would be saying. So here's what we did. We got together. I got the moles together because one thing I'm good at is organizing people, getting people together. I do that down here. I have my group here, large group here of people that supports us. But in there was different. I had to go through different things. So I went and talked to the guy from the Aryan Nation. Now, this guy from the Aryan Nation said he supposed to be a stone racist. He ain't never talked to black folks before. He don't talk to black people. He don't do this. And I don't talk to black people. When I approached him, that's the first thing came out of my mouth. They must didn't tell you that I don't talk to black folks. I said, yeah. I said, but we got a problem. And I think you may want to listen to it. I said, I don't care nothing about you liking me. That's what I said. You don't never have to talk to me. I told him that. I don't need you for nothing. I just want you to understand what we at. Just listen to what I say or what I'm about to say. And he looked at me and I said, when I told him, I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. I told him, I don't care whether you like me or not. I don't care about all these things. We got a problem. He told me, he said, let's walk. Now, they see me, a black man, walking with this Aryan Nation guy. And around the compound, we walking in circles and just having a conversation. And everybody on the compound was looking at us. They was telling everybody, Pinkney out there talking to the guy from the Aryan Nation. He don't talk to nobody. How he talking to Pinkney? I only been there now a week. So now the problem is they say he's talking to me like we're human beings. Like, to me, I felt like he was looking for somebody who's willing to talk to him. You see, I think that's what that was. And the word around him, he don't talk to nobody. I said, well, sure, let's show me who he is. Let's talk. When I met him, I approached him. And then we walked around there, did about eight rounds around the field. Mm-hmm. He said, well, look, I tell you what I'm going to do. He said, I'm going to go talk to my people. And if my people say that they willing to join in with you, it's on. He said, he told me this right there. He said, you got my vote. I said, okay, we'll talk tomorrow. Tomorrow he came out and told me, he said, hey, they're willing to go. I said, all right, big fella, it's going down. And we went to the skinheads. They saw me walking around with this guy. They joined in. The Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, everybody joined in. The hardest people to get was the Christians. Those Christians told me they got to go pray. We got to go pray about it. I told them, go ahead, but we're going to run right over you. I told them, I said, if you get in our way, we're going to run you right over. And before it was 1,400 people on the compound, we had 1,100 people walking with us, talking, and everybody was together on one accord. And everybody went in and asked for this buck naked fish. We went in and they only cooked 100 of it. And they ran out of the buck naked fish. When they ran out of that buck naked fish, all hell broke loose because they supposed to have whatever on that menu they supposed to serve you. That's the law. They supposed to serve you that. They didn't have it. They was scrambling it. The warden never comes in on a Saturday. They had his butt at the end of the line, and everybody was looking and doing. One of my friends from here, Reed, he said, "Man, they talking about you." I said, "They don't even know I'm part of this. I just got here. They know ain't nobody gonna do this like this." We got there, man. We got into the cafeteria, and everybody had had their food. Ain't nobody ate their food. Everybody was just waiting on me. And when I came in, I sat down and asked for the buck naked pick and went over there and set my butt down. And then I took the thing, getting ready to drink it. And when I get ready to down the signal, everybody got up and started dumping their food in the garbage. And the warden was mad. He was mad. He couldn't figure out what. But I'm telling this story because we can bring people together if we have something in common. You see, we had something in common. We had that food problem, and also we had the conditions of the prison. So on that Monday, the warden called every single leader in and had a conversation. And I told them not to ask for anything. Don't ask for nothing. Let him, then you come back and ask. So they said that first thing came out of his mouth was that we don't know what you're talking about. We don't have a clue. Well, I mean, what's that all about? Who's the leader? Y'all the leaders. Y'all supposed to be in control of the prison. And finally, I guess somebody probably told later on. But then the next day, I'm at my locker. Here come about 6 guards coming and marching me out of there, packing me up and sending me. They sent me to Marquette from there. So it was all kinds of stuff. But I tell this story because this story is important. What we can do if we work together. You don't have to be. We all don't have to be white. We don't all have to be black. You can find other people that'll work with you. Because I believe in strength in numbers. That's what I believe. And I believe that there's nothing in this world too hard for us to do.
Right.
Yeah, but that's just one of my stories. We'll next time I come back, I'll tell the other story. So that'll hold you because I'm sitting here, I'm talking. I know other people want to say talk. You go ahead and talk.
Oh, we don't want to talk. We want to listen. Keep going.
Yeah, I know. Well, let me say this real fast.
Go ahead.
They took me to Marquette. I get to Marquette. The warden comes out to greet me. And he said, what did he tell me? He said, yeah, things gonna be different here. And then I said, it's my understanding that y'all don't have microwaves for the prisoners. He said, put them back on that bus. And he said, put them back on that bus now. And look, and I don't know what I said. I didn't say it to be nasty. I just asked the question. I heard that y'all don't have microwaves here, and I don't eat out of the canteen, out of there. So they said, put them back on that bus right now. Well, that was some of the stuff. But what it did for me, it gave me the ability to, wherever I went, people knew I was coming and they took care of me. I didn't want for nothing. There's nothing the news media, they would have me on their TV. And at that time, I was running for state rep for the Green Party, the United States rep, you see. And I'm in prison, and I'm running up against this guy, Fred Upton, the heir to Whirlpool. And that really, it was something. I got so much to say, but I want you guys. I had enough. Y'all talk.
I'm hearing is like just that ability to like go anywhere and be taken care of. For me, it just has me thinking about relationships, the power of community relationships, and like having, and also like educating each other. The other day, my brother's friend, she's like 21 or whatever, so young, living her life. had my brother's friend contacted my brother, and then they contacted me because he gave my number to them. They were asking me who to vote for in Oakland County because they were not informed, but they knew I was. But like having those kind of folks that I guess you call political hub, social justice hub of people you can go to for this kind of stuff, and we can give each other a leg up if we do that. We could help each other know, like, maybe don't vote for this, maybe vote for this, initiative.
Right.
Like if you look at there's like different groups trying to get the slavery loophole removed from the 13th Amendment. There's like entire campaigns for it. But I don't know if anyone's really studying like places that have done that in the aftermath, because Alabama has, and they're still participating in slavery. They're actually letting, they have the lowest rate of parole. Like 90% of the time people don't get parole, and they're allowing corporations to use their prisoners as workers and then denying them parole. Like it's a very sick system, but it's like they got, they voted to remove that loophole, and it's still the same. So it's like these kind of things is why like we got to educate each other and just have our hubs. And I think we can solve a lot if we have that. But
right.
One of the things that we got to remember, everybody is not going to join hands with you, and don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. Like I was telling you about the Christians, we got to go pray about it, and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's not going to join hands with you, you see. But I use the term stick and move. Just keep moving. I'm not going to let you stop you. You're going to find people that don't like you. They don't like you because you're too short, you're too tall, you're too fat, you're too skinny. You got on red shoes today. They going to find a reason not to like you. But don't let that bother you or stop your mission. Nothing supersedes the mission. Nothing.
I know, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I have to say this.
Go ahead, Trisha.
No, Trisha.
First of all, thank you. I've never felt more like I'm standing on somebody's shoulders as I feel I'm connected to you right now in this moment. And I'm just so grateful for the zeal that you still have, because, people lose their zeal and they fall out of the race. And I could just cry just thinking about it, because all that you're explaining, it means that you removed your ego. You humbled yourself so that God could use you, no matter who you were talking to. It reminds me of the scripture that said, I became all things to all men, and so I strive for that. I just thank you. That's all I can say. My heart is just so full, because I look at myself in this area that I live in, and it's so rough, and I just keep trying to humble myself to come along and work with people. But when you said I'll bulldoze over top of you, I'll be telling them that, look, I don't care what you do. What you do, we're going to do what we do. The only person that get it from us is if you get in our way. And if you get in our way, we're going to bulldoze over top of you. So when you said that, I about fell out of my seat. I just thank you. I thank you for the legacy of work that you are patterning for us, and then lastly, I just want to say this. I want to just speak that this work is really hard.
Yeah.
And I understand why a lot of people don't fight. A lot of people don't fight because we talk about this all the time. The Civil Rights Act rocked us to sleep when we could start getting some of the same stuff that white folks got. We thought that made us arrive into this place where we were okay. And so now it's like we're more worse off because of the covered racism that plagues that now is not even covered anymore.
No,
ever present. And so I just behoove us all to just put our hand to the plow and do what we can, because the onus is going to be on all of us. I tell people all the time, the onus of freedom ain't on just on my back.
That's right.
Ass and let's do something.
And here's the thing that's important. See, you move yourself out the way, and you think about the children, that's they're so innocent, but they trying to make them guilty because we're so busy. Here's another thing, another one, materialistic. When we become materialistic, we can be bought and sold. So the thing is, I don't care what somebody else got. I care less about that. Only thing I care about is the future of our children. And let me say this real quick. I know I talk too much, but anyway, our school system, we got this group of black folks on the board, 5 of them, that voted not to replace the boiler or replace it or repair it. For 2 years, our children was in cold, had to wear they boots, coat, hat, scarf, mittens to school every day and sit in the classroom. And not one single parent, I don't have any children in the school system here, but I had to go up there and tell them that it's wrong. I said, this is child abuse. But I'm saying that because, like, we go back to the parents, they're just trying to feed their families and make a living for them. They don't really know what's going on at the school. The school don't let them know, But what we have to do, we have to get out there. I used to put flyers up at the school, so when kids come out of school or pass them, get them flyers, take home to their mama, tell them that you got a problem here. And I became the worst person in the world. They all got together, want to plot against me, and they found out I didn't care, so we moved on. But I'm talking too much. Y'all go ahead. Y'all talk to me.
Hey, I've like, not everybody, and how do you get somebody to have enough humility to know that the changes they're making, they're trying to make in the community, may not benefit them? It may be something that just benefit the generations to come, the kids. That's the hardest thing to get people to understand. To have that humility.
Right. And then you're right. It all depends on their heart. I remember black people being so loving. I remember my mom and my dad, how everybody helped each other and stuff like that. And when I was growing up, I said, that's the way I want to be. And the community was so loving. People was living on the block 20 years. Nobody moved. Everybody was just there. But now it's like a rat race. They want you. See, you see these kids fighting and videotaping it, and they think it's big deal. And like I tell them that's ghetto. That's how I treat them. When they do something that's ghetto, they don't like that word ghetto. The word ghetto and coward. There's 2 words that the children don't want to hear. And I got so much. I'm coming back, and I'm J Love. I'm coming back, and we'll go and talk some more, because I just got too much I want to say. But I just love y'all.
I love it. I love it.
Reverend Pinkney, we here for you. So whatever you got to say, you can say it, because we really need these spaces and outlets where people can come and get information. Reverend Pinkney, I met you on Sam's show, and Sam's show was a space where people came. Everybody didn't agree with Sam.
No.
But people came into his space because they were going to get some information.
That's right.
Whether it was information that they wanted or not wanted, but it was going to be something for everybody. Because he even people that he didn't even agree with, he had them in his space. And as we see, these places and spaces are fewer and fewer. That whole system is gone where they were on. That whole broadcast network is gone. Yeah. Now it's turned all Republican. Yeah. So that space is gone. So we created this space so we can give that back to the community. Have a virtual hub where people can tap into to have these conversations, to get people to think about what What are we really focusing on? So Reverend Pinkney, whatever it is, we here for it, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, you know, piggyback off of, oh, go ahead, Reverend T. I'll come back.
Okay, no, you know, I was thinking about everything you just said, Jay and Reverend Pinkney. I mean, everybody. This is just like Trisha. I joined with her, and I know Allie. This is phenomenal because you know, we are standing on your shoulders, and we're learning. And I think too that you know, having the outlet where people can be heard, where we, you know, so that the community can know what is actually happening in the community. And I don't know why they can't seem to get it all the time, or they want to stick to what they know. And a lot of times people are just afraid to change. But that fear is kicking our behinds because they're afraid to realize what is actually happening. I like that, Reverend Pinkney, you had mentioned about people are just selling themselves practically for things.
And anytime, that's right. And you know, just remember that anytime that you become materialistic, you can be bought and sold. See, our level of concentration, number one, should be on our children. You see, I think that's that got lost. You know, people that way you can't be so selfish. You see what I'm saying? See, if it's about you, you could be selfish. Say, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna sell my soul to the devil, and because it's about me. But if it's about the future of the children, it's difficult to sell yourself to them because now you got to look at it from another angle. And here's the thing, and I think this is important. We must all decide on how far we're willing to go. You see, at my age now, I'm willing to go all the way. I'm gonna tell you like it is. You know, to me, my job is to protect the children and protect them with my life. Let me tell you this one thing that happened about 2 months ago. I got a big church area. My area is huge, you know, and the kids used to come over there and play. Probably about 200 kids, from about 11 during the summer months. About 11, they'd be there from 11 to about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And they you know, they do that box fighting, and everybody, all the kids be bedding and stuff like that. And so I looked on my cameras and I saw all the kids there. So I get out of my bed. Now I normally go to bed around between about 8:30. I have to tell you that right now. So because I get up early in the morning. So I'm in the bed, pretty much minding my own business. I look at the camera and the whole place is full. Probably over 200 children. I'm talking about 12 midnight. Okay. And I gets out of my bed, I goes over there, and they do that boxing, they be betting, who gonna win and stuff like that. And I called them all over there. I said, come on, let's have a conversation. Who's the leader around here? I said, and everybody wanted to be the leader. I said, well, good. I'm glad to see so many leaders. I said, look, I don't mind you being on my property. I told them, you can be here as long as you want. I said, I don't care. If your mama wants you to be outside and she's not mad at you, I'm not. But here's what you got to do for me. I said, when you leave here, I want you every single piece of paper that this place be clean. When I get here tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, if I see paper out there, we got a problem. And you don't want that problem with me. And they looked at me. I said, do we understand each other? They said, yeah. I said, all right, y'all go back over there and get finished doing what y'all do. I don't care. Y'all go ahead. So they did it for about 2 weeks. That third week, they would just come and pick up paper. They they weren't hanging out at 11 o'clock. They started going home to their mother and stuff like that. Because I talked to them like they was human beings. I didn't talk to them like I'm coming over here to chastise you. I'm coming over here to help you. And then I gave them a basketball rim that I had, a brand new one. And they really, really appreciated that. I mean, when I see them now, they see paper around, they go pick it up. I don't even have to ask them. But that's what. See, to me, you talk to them. We don't, like the parent. I said, how come you let your children stay out this late? Well, I be asleep. I fall asleep. They get out and go. I said, no, that ain't how you parent. I said, go. I can't tell you how to do your child, but you heading for trouble. And I tell her, I say, if you need my help, let me know. I'll talk to your son. I'll talk to your daughter. But I can't talk to them without your permission on the way I'm going to talk to them. But my thing was that you talk to them like they're human beings. Don't go over there talking about what you're going to do to them. You're going to do this to them. Yeah, I ain't doing that. Only thing you're going to have a problem with me if you don't follow instructions. I don't have no problem. And you know what? This has been the best summer they ever had. Them kids, when they clean up, they be picking up paper around the building and stuff like that. They walk around the whole building picking up paper because they know that I understand them.
Mm-hmm. Like Alexandria said, they felt valued because you talk to them at their level of understanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to kick them off the property. No, I said no, because they need some places. I'd rather see them there than out beating up on somebody or trying to steal somebody's car.
Mm-hmm.
Because there ain't nothing to steal there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keeping them from getting railroaded into a system that they can't get out of.
Yeah, and that's the holy truth. But there's so much that we can do, even as small groups. Even with dealing with the court-appointed attorney system. People y'all ain't nothing gonna happen there because they all work together. We know that. But you can beat them by their own laws. See, that's what people don't know. When you start talking about it, that's how every case I have has been turned over. And I'm gonna get on my other case next time. But every case I ever had has been turned over. Because I know what I got to do. And that's what I teach people at the courthouse. We win more cases at that courthouse than the court-appointed attorneys do. And they don't like that. They accuse me of practicing law without a license. They say, you're practicing law. I said, no, I'm giving them some spiritual advice. That's what I'm giving them. And if they don't take it, they're going to have to eat that food. I said, those are the choices. And they don't like that because I don't hold them up. I don't hold these folks up. They don't intimidate me. You see, this is how you have to deal with it. Don't let these people intimidate. If they think you intimidate for a second, they got you. Yeah. And most black people, they look at us as being counted. Black people only gonna shoot black people. Black people ain't gonna shoot white folks. They know that. We ain't gonna fight white folks. We're gonna fight black folks. If we gonna cheat and steal, we're gonna steal from black folks. We ain't gonna steal from white folks who got everything. We ain't gonna do that. But we have to stand up for our children. If we don't stand up for our children, we are hidden. This is bad. If we don't get this thing right this time around, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I'm tired of talking. I want y'all to talk.
I think too, like mentoring, right? Like mentoring people, like thinking about all the young people I know, thinking about 2020 and like all the faces I saw out there. It's those are people that were mentored and who were guided. And if we want that number of folks to grow continuously over the years, just continue to have more and more people participate, we have to give them advice. I know a lot of us is seeking it. I know, like thinking like in my 20s, I don't know nothing. I'm just like, what is going on in my life? I'm trying to figure this out. So I want to know. And I guarantee a lot of them do too. So, I mean, it's all about the youth, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in this climate that we in right now. This election that's coming up, and it's very confusing to, young people. And then some young people have a very strong opinion about how they feel. And,
yeah, the numbers of voters,
yeah,
the Gen Z population and the millennial population are the lowest voting group, meaning like they don't vote as much as other populations, and they instead are more likely to participate in issue-based politics or ballot initiatives, like to push certain issues, because they just, I mean, and I think that's multiple reasons. Education is part one. The second one is probably just being fed up with the system.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, I don't blame them there. But I think you can do both. You can still vote and act in ways and do things to show that you fed up and to see change. But again, it takes all of us encouraging folks to vote. I know personally, if I'm being real, I've like each year I go back and forth in my head about the candidates, like in terms of like, this is all we got. Like, I just get in this very upset way of like, this is these, like, it's Biden and Trump. They're both of these old guys. They should not even be presidents. And then, they're funding war. They're killing all these people, and we're okay with that. This is fine. Like, I do that all day, and it's like I almost get to the point of saying I'm not doing it all, but I don't. But it's a lot of people like that, and the only reason I'm not is because I have parents that instilled in me the importance of voting.
Absolutely.
And so, like, we need the elders. We do.
Yeah. We do, and the elders need to speak up. See, this generation that come now, they don't have no respect for the elders, because I'm gonna say this: because of crack cocaine, for one thing, they see their mother and their father doing this crack cocaine. Not all, but most of them they see it, because Benton Harbor is a ghetto. Is about 95% ghetto when you talk about Benton Harbor. At least now, and I might be giving them a few points, but at least 95% ghetto. Ghetto people think ghetto. Your children will probably end up being ghetto. So what you do, you educate them on a different level, take them to the next level. Everybody is not college material, and we got to remember that. That's important. But we got to find a substitute for them, like teach them how to be bricklayers, plumbers, electricians, all these different things. And see, a lot of times Black folks don't know this, but when you work on the expressways, those machines, some things pay $60, $70 an hour. See, we got to tell them that. They don't know that everybody's not going to be a doctor. Everybody's not going to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So look, here you could do this, and it's not difficult, but they never get to know about these things. We as a people who are willing to fight to keep people out of prison and jail, we have to find a substitute for them. And that substitute is finding the right job and training them where they don't have to go and beg for a job. Because if you got that training, you can go anywhere and get you a job. And that's what we have to teach you. And selling drugs ain't gonna get you nowhere. It ain't gonna get you it's gonna get you 5 to 10. That's what it's gonna get you. So so we as a group, we have an obligation. Even if they don't listen, we still gotta tell them. Stick and move. Keep it moving. Once you tell them, you did your job. You see. And you don't have to, when I go to sleep at night, I sleep good, because I know when I get up in the morning, it's the beginning of the war. We're at war. I got to find a way. How is I'm going to help my people? How? I'm going to help my people even if they don't want to be helped. And you got people who don't want to be helped. So what we have to do, I mean, even our group right here, our job is just to tell them. And what they do with that information is on them. I wouldn't lose a night's sleep, because that way I can go to bed and sleep good. You see, when I go to the courthouse, this is important. People be looking. They be looking at who I'm talking to. You see, that's why I camouflage. I have other people doing some of the work, and they come back and tell me, and then we talk about it. See, because just like they camouflage stuff, we have to do it. So that's how I look at it. And you know, I fight hard, you know, and the key is I don't care if you don't like me. I'm not trying to win no popularity contest. I'm not. I just don't care. Like, you know, well, I don't care. You know, that ain't gonna stop nothing. You could buy. And then my wife always come on. She said, "Well, why are you helping people? You know they don't like you." I said, "Well, I have an obligation that I gotta fulfill. You know, I still gotta do it. You know, you start putting feelings into it, you ain't gonna never get nothing done. Cause you gonna find out don't nobody like you. You be walking down the street. If you ain't got time, you ain't helping them do nothing. They'll turn their nose up you. What he doing walking on the same side I'm walking on? You know, but that's that ghetto come out in people. So you gotta keep moving.
Right.
Yeah, you think like if you have power, you're not gonna care if nobody likes you.
Yeah.
With power, they have to deal with you.
Absolutely.
And when they did, they might be dealing with you and they don't even know because you have so much power. You're able to operate in the dark.
I'm gonna say this real fast. How much time we got?
We got time.
Okay. The water crisis here.
I was about to ask you about that.
This is bigger than life. This water crisis. Now, in 2018, one of my good friends, a member of our organization, her daughter came in from Texas. And when she came in from Texas, they cleaned up the house and then she wanted to take a bath. She ran the bathwater and the water was full of particles. It was like gold. She thought she had struck gold. She said, "We rich, mama. We rich. Look at this water." and she said, "No." Then she said, "Look at it." Told her mama, "Come in there." So she called me. I was pretty much minding my own business, and she come said, "Look, have you seen my mother's water?" I said, "What's wrong with it?" She said, "It's like gold. It's you know, I can't take no bath in there. I'm gonna go to a hotel and take a bath." I said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Well, look, all right, tell her to get 2 quarts together, take it to the mayor." So she got 2 quarts. Well, that Monday, that next day, she took it to the mayor and gave it to him. He didn't want to look at it because he already knew the water was bad. He knew the water was bad. He knew it was contaminated with lead and bacteria, but he didn't tell the people. And the law says, this is what the law says when it comes to that water. You must send a notice out to every single paying individual. And he didn't do it. He didn't do it. So he really was in hot water. They really had the heat on him. But anyway, when he didn't do anything about the water, I told her to bring it to me, and I sent it out to the University of Michigan Biological Lab, had it analyzed. Found out she had over 300 parts per billion of lead in it. That's when we formed the Benton Harbor Community Water Council. Now we're getting ready to attack the water system, them as a whole. We went around testing the water to make sure that we didn't, it wasn't just her. So it turned out to be that whole area, probably about close to 300-400 people that we it was probably the whole city. But if it's 400 people, it's bad. So what we did was we got the EPA. The EPA wanted to have a roundtable with us. We had a roundtable with them, but it was just a roundtable. Now this started in 2019. From 2019 to 2021, they kept us at bay. We thinking that I kind of like knew they wasn't going to do anything. So I think in May of 2021, I went off. I told the EPA that you've been spending us for 2 whole years. You have no intention of helping this community. And no, we getting it together. We know how it takes time. It takes 2 years. I got a problem with that. So we went back. We decided that we was going to file this petition with Joe Biden office. And now that's a bad move. That's a tough move. We putting the United States president and the EPA person in charge on notice that we're getting ready to file a lawsuit against you personally. Now you're gonna file a lawsuit against the president. You know that's something bad. We had lawyers, we had everything. So we're getting ready to file on September the 9th of 2021. And somebody let the governor Whitmer, somebody tipped off. I went out and got 21 organizations to join us. 21. Most of them was white organizations. So I'm good at bringing people in, you see. So we went and got 21 organizations, and they all signed on to that we're getting ready to file this petition. So on September the 8th, the governor said that she's giving Benton Harbor $10 million. That's not going to stop me. You know, $10 million. We're going to need close to $100 million. That's just a drop in the bucket. So on September the 9th, we called a press conference, because then you had to do it by Zoom. You couldn't see, and that really, really helped us. Everything fell in our way, because if we do a press conference, you have a few media comes out. This way we had over, now listen to this, we had over 100 different media. We had people from the UK, we had from France, Finland, Denmark, they were Italy, they was all, we had them from all over the world. They was listening. They listened to me talk. So we talked. The press conference lasted about 45 minutes, and they all wrote a story. When they wrote that story, all hell broke loose, because they know a little black town like Benton Harbor can get that much publicity. There's a problem. And that is exactly what happened. We moved the ball to a whole different level because we was working, we were working together, trying to figure out how we gonna get these pipes removed. And the way we did it, we allowed Whitmer, like, she wanted to take credit for it. I didn't fight her. I didn't fight her at all. I didn't, I let her have the credit. That's what she wanted. Her and the mayor, they wanted credit for doing this. So we gave them the credit, you see, long as we got the job done. So they didn't even realize they were being played, but they thought that it was all about them. So once we did that, Joe Biden office sent about $40 million here. The governor sent another $40 million. They had over $100 million to fix these pipes. And they went out, and I told them I wanted them to hire 5 black contractors. And if they wanted to, they can hire 5 whites. That's up to them. But they ended up hiring 5 white contractors. And they butchered the work, but they stole all the money. But I stayed on their butt. We delivered bottled water, close to almost 1 million bottles of water, my team did. We went door to door, and they were trying to do everything they can to stop me. They sent the police to my house, accused me of selling water in South Bend. I'm going to take 20 cases of water to South Bend, and it's in South Bend, about 45 miles from my house, one way. And I'm going to do that. I said, man, get on out here. They send the cops and everything, like they didn't intimidate me. See, the thing is, if they can intimidate you, they will do anything. I'm not going to be intimidated by no police. You better shoot to kill or whatever you're going to do. That's how I look at it. But anyway, we got all this done. They never seen a black person willing to be able to do this. That was the most incredible thing that ever happened. People still talk about this today, how we got them to do something they didn't want to do. Whitmer, we made her do something she didn't want to do. And we're still fighting today. So that's the bottled water story. Yeah. So even in time of peace, I'm preparing for war.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And
I know you're not my daddy, but I think you my daddy. I don't know. I got your DNA up in here. I got your DNA.
Yeah. Wait, I don't owe no back child support, do I? Yeah.
This is so good because I think what I hear and understand more now than ever is refusing to conform.
Yes.
And and it starts so young. I took my grandbaby to school the other day, and I had a moment. I had to pray all the way back home. I found out they weren't going to recess. Her class she's in kindergarten. Class kept getting in trouble. Didn't have recess all week. They're quiet during the whole day at school, even at lunch. And so I would ask her, sweetie, did you make friends at school today? Did you talk to anybody? BB, she calls me BB. BB, we can't talk. We can't talk. And so when I went up there and I saw some things, and all I kept seeing the training children. And I know it's not everywhere, but in this particular school, which is well known, to conform.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time they're older, there's no fight. I called my daughter. I said, I don't know about the school. I don't know. Because see, if you go outside of inner cities and if you go to other places, then you can see there's schools where there's 100% inclusion, where they're not going to label their children. Oh no, they're not going to label theirs. They won't even expel or suspend. There's schools with a policy that we love our children so much that we're not going to expel or suspend. And 100% of the time, another policy, all children must go outside, whether they're in trouble or not. They go outside and exercise.
That's right.
I don't know what else has to be done, but I'm seeing at a very young age to teach children to think critically and not to conform to some of these things. And I know she's 5. She can't do anything. But I'm looking at her mother like, oh, we're going to have to make a change because I don't like it. I don't like it. But you know what, Reverend Pinkney? How did you get so that you just refuse to conform?
Hey, one thing, it's just something I do, and it worked. See, I think the first time I did it, probably about again, look, I'm gonna have to leave y'all, but I want to take my college days. That's where it all started. So I'm away. It's way past my bedtime. We gotta do this again. Hey Hugh, what's up with you? But look, I got to let y'all go. It's because I'm best friend fall asleep on my own talking. Y'all keep it. But look,
well, we appreciate you, Reverend Pinkney, for staying up to be with us. I see Attorney Mac coming in, so we
Attorney Mac. Yeah,
we're gonna find
good to
he
see
was
you,
out
my
there
brother.
in Flint, so we're gonna find out what was happening in Flint.
Absolutely.
And we'll get back with you, Reverend Pinkney.
All right, you do that. Let's talk soon.
Yes.
And somebody said they want me to come to Ann Arbor. Yeah, I love Ann Arbor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll make it happen. Hey, I'm gonna have to say good night, y'all.
Good night, Reverend Pinkney.
And look, and
God bless, brother.
What's up?
We'll talk, Reverend. God bless.
Yeah, let's make it happen. All right now. Y'all take care and continue. See y'all later.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Attorney Matt.
My sister. Look. I've been a long lost child. I feel bad every time I miss, but it's hard out here saving the world. It's hard. It's so But now I miss y'all. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Look here. I had the esteem and great pleasure to see with my two eyes the Lord has blessed me with for 70 years, the next president of the United States. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You know, and you know, I'm gonna tell you, the crowd, 95% white, you know, a lot of blacks was there, but a whole bunch of white folks, and a whole bunch of white women, I might add. Let me make this prediction right here, y'all. And excuse me for being real. When Donald Trump called himself stacking that Supreme Court and put that woman's reproductive issue on the chopping block, his ass is out. You hear me? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not just a black woman issue anymore. You see, when it was black women having to run the risk of, you know, improper natal care and you know, and back alley abortions and all them kind of things, it was okay. But this idiot has now done something that smeared a whole bunch of white women now. And I'm talking about conservative white women too. You see, because it was okay when it was just the black women and the brown women and the poor white women. Yeah. See, there's one to sacrifice the poor whites too. Yes, they were. But now this idiot has got a sweeping change with all women. And I'm telling you right now, they talk about abortion ain't a big on the hell if it ain't. Look, I got a news flash. Most of the voters in this country are women. Most of the people in this country are women. You understand what I'm telling you? So when that man has said, childless cat woman, that friggin' ass idiot, JD Vance, somebody to slap him. And by the way, look, I'm not trying to criticize nobody's lifestyle, but damn, he almost looked pretty on that stage. Look, I'm not gay, y'all. I mean, I'm not down to nobody, but I'm not gay. But I have been in the penitentiary, and I know what I've seen. Damn, he looked pretty. So what I'm saying is JD Vance, with I don't know, were those contacts he had on? I mean, I couldn't. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, J Love, please don't cut me off, please. So all I'm saying is, JD, don't you never go to the penitentiary. No, don't you never go. You understand? So anyway, but on a more serious note, that childless cat woman things, them white women ain't forgot that. They have not forgot that. Okay? You know, and talking about women out of state relationships, if it's abusive, you know, for the sake of the marriage, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Anyway.
Attorney Matt, did you see that Melania, isn't that with his wife named Trump?
Yeah.
She done came out with a whole ad about women's rights to choice.
That's right. That's right. And look here, we ain't got to worry about her cutting him off. What I understand, he been cut off for a long time. So that's what I'm saying.
She did a whole ad. Let me see. Let's see if I can get it on here, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey,
go ahead.
But J Love, while you pulling that up, the thing that really is very wrong and disappointing, there's a bunch of white women who support a woman's right to choose. I'm talking about Republican women. And what I don't understand, where is the Condoleezza Rice? Where is Bush's wife name? What her name again? Laura Bush? Is that her name? Laura Bush? You know, where are these women standing up and talking about a woman's right to choose? You know, because I know in the past they support a woman's right to choose.
Mm-hmm. Here's the video, you guys. I'm playing it.
Writing this memoir has been a deeply personal and reflective journey for me. As a private person who has often been the subject of public scrutiny and misrepresentation, I feel a responsibility to clarify the facts. I believe it is important to share my perspective, the truth.
Oh, that's not it.
Okay, but
Oh, you
I
guys.
did see part of it, J Love, you know, and she,
Too. That's not
you know,
it. Go ahead, Tony Matt. I'm gonna try to find it while you're talking.
well, so, but in any event, I just wanted to say this. We're looking at this whole thing and what we're facing, you know, I just believe more so now than ever that we have a responsibility to do this thing the right way, J Love, you know, and so we simply cannot allow, you know, people just to sit on the sidelines. Now, J Love, you remember a couple months ago we had the one of these podcasts, and that brother from New York was on there. You remember that, you know? And then, you know, he and I kind of had a little exchange there. But hopefully he will get to the point of seeing you can't sit this one out, you know, no black man can sit this one out. You know what Donald Trump said? He said, you know what? We just let the police do what they want, just 24 hours. We're gonna stop all this crime. Who you think he's talking about? Who you think he's talking about? He ain't talking about them white boys in Utah.
The very nice people.
Yeah, you know. He's talking about the mud people, y'all. You know, the black, brown mud people. That's what we're talking about. He's talking about Detroit, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Chicago. That's what we're talking about, y'all. And he's come out and said it. See, he's gotten so bold, he's not even hiding it. He ain't even hiding it. So, but anyway, but it was a lot of great energy there tonight, J Love. I recorded her whole speech. It's about a half hour. Tomorrow or so, I'm putting it on Facebook so people can see it. And you know, so it was a great thing to see. You know, the Lord let me live long enough to see the first future female president of the United States, and I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. You know, so you know, and Kamala ain't perfect. I mean, I don't agree with everything, but given the option, oh yes, she is. Oh yes, she is. You know, I need my hey, look here. I don't want to speak for the rest of the people on this group, but I need my Constitution. you know, my clients. On behalf of me and my clients, we need our Constitution. Okay.
Yes, we do, Tony Mac. Yes, we do. Did you see was I know you could probably, I don't know, Bishop Bernadette, I know that's why she hasn't called me yet tonight. She's probably with you.
I'm sorry, who?
Bishop Bernadette Jefferson out of Flint.
Oh yeah. Look, hey, y'all, look here. You know, oh, you got it, J Love? I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was a big thing that she came out, you know.
That's right.
With that ad. And, you know, that's not what they're speaking of on the Republican end.
Right.
And she came out with that.
Right.
So
that's right. Right. And CJ Love and Tia and Trisha and Alexandria, if she's still with us, I believe she is. I'm not sure. But what that's really going to do, that's going to give cover to a whole lot of Republican white women to come on and do the right thing. You know, it is. And so, you know, although I know she's promoting her book, I mean, I understand that, but I don't care. I don't care. You know, so yeah. So, I just, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Stood 3 hours in line, by the way. You know.
Oh wow.
And, you know, Reverend Tia and group. I mean, that line was so long, you'd swear it was handing out government cheese. And the thing of it is they was there and we was troopers. And, when I got up to the front, I went through a little bit of panic thing. Someone talking about, oh, the auditorium was full. I said, shit, it's going to be room for 2 more. it ain't going to be that full. I'm getting in. Hey, AJ Love and Tia now, I was going to get in now. Now, y'all may have to get me a GoFundMe to get me out of jail from the Secret Service beating my ass. But I wasn't going to get in. I saw that door. I just kept on walking. If somebody said stop, I didn't hear
them. Thank you, Attorney Mac. Our correspondent. That was
yes.
Thank you, Trisha. Before we end the night, let's talk about the summit.
I am in great expectation of what's going to take place at the summit this year. The pursuit of truth, right, is what we're on, and it's fired up about the exonerees that we have coming forward. We have some amazing voices that are going to be speaking out. Just really ready to feel the togetherness of our community. It's in those moments where we can come together, mobilize ourselves so that we can strengthen ourselves for the continued work ahead. So all roads are going to lead to Gethsemane Missionary Baptist Church on October the 19th. We are going to be there from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you see the address there, 29066 Eaton Street. That's Westland, Michigan, 48186. You can register on Eventbrite, or you can just come on out. We just want to see you there. We need to get heart to heart. We need to get real about what's going on. Understand where we've been so we can craft the proper solution moving forward to end these atrocities of wrongful convictions.
Yeah.
Amen.
And then you also have an event coming up this week, Touché. What is that, Monday, Tuesday?
Let me see what event. I'm saying so much going on. We're on Tuesdays, every Tuesday in October. Survivor Speak is doing their voting and more workshops at Brown Chapel in Ypsilanti. That's 1043 West Michigan Avenue. They're starting at 6 p.m. Folks can come out, have dinner, and just separate from the youth, because we will have child care and youth activities. And just really get a good heart-to-heart lesson around voting and more. But on the 15th of October, we are going to be taking it to the streets in downtown Ann Arbor on this freedom mission, the justice for the Veazey brothers, as we know that the prosecutor is holding the Veazey brothers when he knows that they're innocent. As far as just very quickly, there were many Brady violations that took place in this case. For those that don't know what Brady violations are, those are things that happen within the midst of that investigation that are questionable as far as the misconduct and behaviors of these officers. So there were Brady violations there. There was a recant on a prison phone where the young lady actually said who did these crimes. There are so many things that could aid in the freedom of these two strong Black men. Yet our prosecutor who marched with us and I say got over on our Black pain is now holding them. For whatever reason, we don't know why, but what we do know is that we will not stop. We will not take down, and we're going to keep pushing forward until they are free. So that is Tuesday, October the 15th at 1 p.m. Meet us there. No, beat us there, because we're going to take the streets and march on behalf of those brothers and let them know that we are not going to stand for these injustices any longer.
Yes. And then next Friday, on turning a moment into a movement. On turning a moment into a movement. We're gonna have Mr. Mark Crawford, Exoneree, and Michigan State Rep. I must be getting sleepy. State Rep. Donovan McKinley as our guest. We're going to continue the conversation to the pursuit of truth, part 3. We might be popping in next week, Thursday, for a conversation. You guys will know as soon as I know about that one. And yeah, so I'm so happy we're back. I missed you guys on this in our virtual space. But yeah, we got a job to do. And we're here for a purpose, and which Reverend Pinkney so nicely reminded us, you know, that we got to stick and move. We got to keep it going.
Right.
We got to keep it going, you know, and everybody ain't going to go, but those who are ready, let's go. So
let's go.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Reverend Tia, you got something you want to leave end us out with?
I'm just Jay, I'm so excited and ready to go. I think Pinkney has lit a fire up under my behind again. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm encouraged more than anything to not only continue, but to seek and to look and to know that we already won. We win when we start to come together. We win when we start to see the vision. So we win. We've already won because just us right now, we're seeing the victory on so many levels. And we got to say that we already won even before anybody else realizes it. Yeah. Because we know the truth.
Thank you, Reverend Tia. All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all. Love you. God bless y'all. Here.